Hello, rock stars. You made it. You're here for the very last roundtable of 2025. We'll take a break in December and then we'll start again in January. So, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here, whether it's your morning, your afternoon, your evening, or maybe future you is watching this recording or listening to the audio. My name is Leanne Reagan, and this is the 13th year of the Roundtable. So it's our birthday. It's our birthday this month. So happy birthday to us. And this month's topic for the Roundtable is getting motivated and building healthy habits, especially if you're lagging and sagging. So I don't know about you, but the state of the world right now is a little challenging. So I'm especially grateful that you showed up and you belong here. Just celebrating our community of change makers, people who are focused on making a positive contribution to the world. We have some things to focus on, including I'll show you a way to figure out what motivates you and to how to uncover clues about what motivates other people. So it's one thing to know about yourself, but it's another to know about other people. And also about learning the one change that you can make to help make sure that your motivation sticks. Because it's sometimes it's one thing to be motivated in the moment, but how do you get that to stick? And we'll disrupt your waning motivation with this peculiar but highly effective tool that involves a general and a grid. I've put a lot of research into this workshop, and you'll get access to all of that research. I'll show you how you can do that in a little bit. So know that you're learning from the best brains on how to create healthy habits. And also, I'll share with you a smorgasbord of tools to help you track your newfound healthy habits. And also, if you are a UN staff, you don't need to be a UN staff to be here. But if you are, you can count this towards your annual professional development. And also, if this is your first time at a round table, you've automatically become a member. And so you get access to 13 years of roundtable resources. So let me know in the chat which of these things, of these four things, are you interested in hearing more about? So, by way of introduction, which of these four things do you want to know more about? So, just put the number in the chat, and that's how I will introduce myself. So, again, my name is Leanne Reagan. I'm so delighted that you're here, welcoming those who've just come in. So, hi, Maria, welcome. Hi, Mike. Hi, Elsaline. Hi, Anne. Okay, so the first two I see from Anne and Mike are 4 and 2. Okay, so number 4, check the checklist. So, I love me a checklist. I am all about checklists, and that will tell you something about my motivation style. So you'll be able to learn more about that in today's workshop where you'll discover your own motivation style and see if you can discover later on when I teach you about this, if you can uncover my motivation style, knowing that I love, 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 love. I love lists, love the checking off and getting things done. Okay, and then Mike wanted number 2. So, oh, clearly James Clear. So, hasn't let me know in the chat, has anyone heard of James Clear? He's kind of the grandfather of healthy habit formation. And again, so James Clear is new for Elsaline. Okay, Josephine has heard of James Clear. Okay, so yeah, he's kind of written the seminal work and done tons and tons of research on how to stop bad habits. Yes, Josephine, yeah, absolutely. Atomic Habits, yeah. So we'll be talking about some of his research on how to stop bad habits and how to create good habits. So that's a little bit about me. If you really want to know a different number that I didn't cover, just let me know at the end of the workshop and I can go over those. Also, just before we dive in, I do a lot of workshops on a lot of different topics. So I've just put the link to my workshop catalog in the chat there. So if you want to find out more about my Working Better Together workshops, my tech tool workshops, and my training of trainers, you can just click on that link. And if future you is watching this, the link will be down below the video. Okay, a couple things. Please, I really, really want this to be valuable at the end of this for you to think, oh, that was a really good use of my time. So please, please, please participate. Ask questions, share resources, make comments in the chat. You are welcome to do that anytime you wish. Also, as per the members' requests, I created a LinkedIn a LinkedIn Roundtable group. So feel free to join that if you wish, so we can keep in touch between roundtables. And I also created a Facebook Roundtable group. Uh, I am so happy to contribute to the learning space through this roundtable. And if you find benefit, if you get something out of our time together, please share the link to join. I always, always, always love to grow our community. Also, I look forward to your feedback, so I will share a link at the end of every roundtable. I share a link for you to share feedback, and then I randomly draw someone to win access to my Ban Boring Online Meetings course. And then finally, members have said, "Oh, Leanne, we love getting the resources, but we want to get them faster. Can you give them to us faster?" So it does take the team a little bit of time to time stamp the videos and just kind of get the workbook together and all of that. However, at the bottom of the hour when we end, so in roughly an hour and 20 minutes from now, you'll get access to the PowerPoint deck. So that will be emailed to you, and then everything else comes out early next week. Okay, and then finally, it's one thing to take a workshop. It's a whole other thing to apply your learning. So I'm sure as the brilliant, lovely people that you are, that you have lots of ways of helping yourself remember what you're learning. If you wish, you can use this worksheet. So I've put the link in the chat. Once you download it, it becomes editable. So you do need to download it. And then you can kind of use it to help you remember what you're learning and apply what you're learning. So feel free to use that. Okay, I'd love to hear where are you? So just over to you for a minute. So where does this find you? Where are you right now? So I'm coming to beautiful sunny Nairobi. It's nice and warm this morning. Um, oh, Mike is in South Africa. Josephine's also in Nairobi. Same with Natalia and Nima. By the way, if I mispronounce your name, please excuse me and feel free to send me the phonetic pronunciation of your name. Elsaline's in Pretoria. Nice. Miriam's in Nairobi. Yeah, it's such a beautiful day today, at least where I am. Miriam's in Nairobi. Okay. So lots in Nairobi. Diana's in Beirut. Okay, welcome, Diana. And Anne, it's dawn in London. Okay, what time is it? It's 10 a.m. here in Nairobi. Is it about 8 a.m., Anne? Something like that? Um, okay. Well, I would love to welcome all of you just as we dive into our topic now. It's 7 a.m. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're a morning person, Anne. Some people are. I am not. So particularly warm welcome to you that early in the morning. Okay, so if I can have everyone just briefly, if you're able to, if this does not cause a spike in your blood pressure, please feel free to turn on your cameras for a second. So turn on your cameras. If I can see you just for a minute. Hi, Aslan. So nice to see you. And again, if I'm mispronouncing anyone's name, you can send me a message. Hi, Natalia. Nice to see you. Hi, Nima. Lovely to see you. Um, okay, and if you're able to turn on your cameras, everyone else. I know sometimes that causes a spike in blood pressure. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you. Okay, so we're going to do a little kind of testing of the waters. So if you are able to, please turn your cameras on. Hi, Ben. Nice to see you. Okay. And Diana. Hi, Diana. Okay, so I have a question for you, for all of you. If you consider yourself a highly motivated person, so in general, if you consider yourself a highly motivated person, keep your cameras on. Okay, so keep your camera. So if you consider yourself, in general, a highly motivated person, keep your cameras on. If you are lagging and sagging right now, and no judgment, wherever you're at is totally fine. There's zero judgment. But if you're finding yourself a bit lagging and sagging when it comes to motivation, then keep your cameras off. Hi, Anne. Oh, nice to see you. Okay. Okay. Hi, Nanyang. Okay. Hi, Ramsey. I don't think I said hello. Hi, Katie. Okay. So it's a little hard to tell. I know some of you are like, what? I didn't know we had to turn on our cameras. But if we go by the number of cameras that are off, we definitely have some lagging and sagging. So, okay, let's dive in then. Let's see how we can get that motivation up and to keep it there. So, as we dive in, let me know, what is a habit that you'd like to get or you'd like to strengthen? So, a positive habit that you'd like to create, or you already have this habit, but maybe it's not very strong. So feel free to scan this QR code. Oh, hi, Nyan Yang, coming in from Myanmar. Welcome. I just saw your comment there. So scan that QR code and the code. So this is a tool called WooClap, and you can enter the code in the top, which is CCHAOO. I'll put this in the chat here. And you can also, maybe you have a number of habits that you'd like to strengthen or create. So you can answer more than once. I am going to go, I'm just going to switch screens here in a second and show you the responses as they're coming in. This takes a second here. So we're looking at a habit or habits that you want to strengthen or create. And you'll be able to see your answers here. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can see the answers on the screen here. So, and we've got some other folks coming in. Nice. Oops. And again, these are habits that you want to create. Maybe it's a new habit or you want to strengthen. Okay, so we've got finishing tasks, getting orderly. Okay, time management, reading more, smile at Leanne. Oh, not multitasking. Oh, that's a good one. To detox from my phone, work-life balance, disconnecting, walking each day. By the way, I don't know if you know, it's technically impossible to multitask. That is actually an impossibility. What we do is task switching. I love how these are coming in. These are great. I'll put a screen grab of these in your workbook that you'll get early next week. Checking on my friends. Oh, that's so nice. Physically moving each day. Continuous learning. Yay for continuous learning. Finishing things, persistency in daily effort, meditating more often, financial management, keeping to a routine. Great. Oh, these are lovely. Okay, I am going to go back to our other screen, but you can continue to add. You can come back to that, and you can continue to add to those if you wish. Any comments on what you saw there? I love that they're still coming in. That's awesome. So, anything that you particularly noticed, or we've got Cynthia coming in. Hi, Cynthia. Welcome. So, I mean, I was really struck by A, how many there are and how fast they were coming in. So clearly people know or have a sense of some habits they want to strengthen, and how broad ranging they were, right? Um, okay, let me know if there's anything else that you noticed, but you can always go back to that. Uh, Okay, so I've divided these tools into two categories. So as we start to dive into them here, so the first half is all about looking inwards. So what are some tools that I can share with you based on the best research of things that you look inwards, and then the second half will be about things about looking outwards, so to do with other people as well. And motivation and mindset are so key when we look inside ourselves. And I love this quote here. I needed to do the laundry, but then I realized I was out of detergent. So I went to write a shopping list and realized how unorganized the junk drawer was. And I started checking pens for ink. Then I went to toss out all the junk. I saw the trash was full, but before I took it out, I wanted to get rid of old food in the fridge. And when I opened my fridge, I realized a juice jug had been leaking. So I needed to clean it up. But when I went to grab a rag, the pantry closet was a nightmare. So I started organizing that. And that's how I ended up on the floor, balls deep in one of my old photo albums from '02 while listening to Avril Lavigne and not doing laundry. So let me know, can anyone relate? Do you the reference there to Avril Lavigne? Uh, as Elaine's saying yes with capital letters and exclamation points, right? Yeah, that task switching, especially with social media, even you may or may not know this, the shot. So I have two sons, and one of whom is a filmmaker, and the average shot length in a film has decreased by something like 500%, right? Because we just need things to be changing up much more frequent. We've got some sharing going on in the group here. Okay, great. Love this. Okay. So, also with mindset and motivation, I don't know, let me know if you've seen this little clip here. I love the smiles. I'm not going to play the whole clip, but I love the smiles on folks who have their cameras on. It's kind of impossible to watch that without, at least smiling, if not breaking into a giggle. So your mindset and motivation make a massive difference. And in this case, can really make you stand out, right? I'm this little one who's just absolutely given her. Okay, so let's dive in. We're looking inwards. to some mindset and motivation tools to help that lagging and sagging motivation. So let me know. We're going to talk about the three G's, and you can find out more about this. I'll put a link here in the chat. So, the general and the wild child. This is from Martha Beck's research. Has anyone heard of the general and the wild child? Is this new to anybody? Essentially, this tool looks at when you are attempting to do something. You need a task to do. You're trying to amp up your motivation. You can close your eyes or let your gaze soften, and this will take some practice. Some of you will come to this easily and naturally. Others, it might take a bit of practice. I do this all the time, and it's so helpful. And ask yourself, what is your general and what is your wild child doing? And what do I mean by that? Your general is your harshest critic. Your Nima, you can't do this. Natalia, oh, forget it. Come on, work harder. You're just being late. And of course, I'm just Nima and Natalia. I'm just making this up, right? But it's that judgy, harsh critic, not very nice, doesn't believe in work-life integration, just is very, very mean. And your wild child is the opposite. Your wild child doesn't have any discipline. There's no organization. There's just like, doesn't care about deadlines, doesn't care priority of things. It's just about having fun, doing what's important to me. I don't care about other people. So if you are, again, trying to get something done, you're trying to get motivated, sometimes checking in with your general, your critic, and your wild child can give you some insight. So that's the first of three G's. Let me know, does that make sense? Questions? Can you vision your wild child if you close your eyes? Some people can see pictures quite easily, others it's a little harder. If you can't see that, if that's not something, you may wish to use an AI tool or just go on to any, just Google and find an image like I've done here of a wild child and a general, and just have those in a note on your phone or maybe print them out, stick them on your computer, um, what have you. So that's the first of the three G's when we're looking inside is check in with your general and your wild child. I'll continue, but we can always come back if you have a question later. We can always go back. Okay, the second G is the grid. Have you heard of this will skill matrix? This is so much wisdom packed into four quadrants. Let me know, is this grid new for you? Basically, this looks at, it's new to Mike. Okay, great. Thanks, Mike. And by the way, you can get more information on this matrix. I'll put it in the chat. If you're like Leanne, do you know how much energy it took me just to get to this thing? All these links are a little bit overwhelming. Don't worry, I've got you. All of those links will be available in the workbook. So use them now if you wish, or they'll all be together in the workbook. Okay, so this grid, oh, this sweet, sweet, sweet grid. Let me just turn on my annotation here so I can see. So basically, there's two, what do you call them? I'm losing the word. Coordinates here is your skill level. Okay, so if you're looking inwards and you're trying to get a task done, you can look at your skill level to do with that task. Is it low or is it high? And then you look at your will level, which means your motivation. Is it low or is it high? So ideally, if you are highly skilled and you're willing, oof, you are off to the races, no problem. Highly motivated, high five, no problem. Let's go. Tick the list. Off you go, no problem. If, however, you're highly skilled, but you're unwilling, then that points to an issue of motivation. And I'm going to teach you a motivation tool, right? If you are unable, right? So your skill level is low, but your motivation is high, then you know it's an issue of upskilling, right? Maybe you need to take a LinkedIn learning workshop or listen to a podcast about the topic. but your motivation is actually high. It's the skill that you need to focus on. And then the fourth one is if both, then you need to work on both your motivation and your skill level. So this is a really handy tool for pinpointing, do you need to work on motivation and or upskilling? So that's the second of the G's. Hi, Miriam. Welcome. So glad you're here. We're talking about the three G's, and we've just done the second one. So the general and the wild child, and then this particular grid. And the third one, oh, this was so seminal to me. Do you know Carol Dweck's research on mindset? This was such a game changer for me. This notion of fixed mindset or growth mindset. And one of the best, I think, examples of this on a personal note, she writes in her book, are students who took an exam were then offered to look at the results of either students that did worse than them or students that did better than them on the exam. And students with a fixed mindset, meaning if you fail, you are a failure, your intelligence, your learning, it's fixed, you can't really change things. When you get frustrated, you just give up. So students with a fixed mindset looked at students' tests who did worse than them because they wanted to make themselves feel better, right? Students with a growth mindset, meaning failure is an opportunity to grow, I can change things. If I make a mistake, if I fail, I am not a failure. I'll take a break, I'll take a pause, but I am not a failure. I like to try new things, and learning is not only possible, but really, really important. So students who had the growth mindset, they looked at the test scores of students who did better than them because they wanted to learn, right? They wanted to learn more. So that is the third one of the three G's. So you were looking inwards to the general and the wild child, the grid, and then are you growth? Do you have a growth mindset or fixed mindset? And by the way, it's not one or the other. In some areas, you may have a growth mindset, and in some areas, you might have a fixed mindset. You can actually assess your mindset. So in the chat there, I put a little survey, so you can assess how much your mindset is growth or fixed. By the way, just kind of informally, what do you think? Do you mostly tend to have fixed or a growth mindset? Let me know in the chat. And there's no judgment, right? You may have a growth mindset when it comes to one thing and a fixed mindset on another. And if this topic really resonates, as members of the roundtable, you have access to all the roundtables. So the March 2023 roundtable was specifically on mindset. Nima says mostly growth, sometimes fixed. I love that you know that about yourself, Nima. Way to go. Yeah. Yeah, and this is really linked as well to the general and the wild child. So, fixed mindset folks, the general really comes out and is very judgy. You're a failure, you're awful, horrible, terrible, no good, very bad. You're never going to get better. You can't do this. That inner chatter can be just awful. Uh, Veronica's coming in. Let me just let her in. Okay. Okay, so those are a couple of tools there, the three G's. Let me know any questions before we move on to some other tools. Just pause there for a second. I want you to feel relaxed and sinking into this as it works for you. Otherwise, we'll move on. Oh, Ezeline says, what causes the difference in the growth? And I'm assuming, Ezeline, you're talking about the growth and fixed mindset. If not, let me know in the chat. That's a fabulous question. So some of it is based on your growing up? So how did if you think about, and for some of you, this might be painful, so I gently hold that with you. Um, uh, think about when you were a child and you made a mistake. How did your parents or your caregivers react to that mistake? Uh, if if you were punished, if that was a bad thing, then potentially you would lean towards having more of a fixed mindset. If you were like, oh, this is an opportunity to chat about this, to do better next time, let's have a plan, let's figure out how can we move forward, you may tend to have a growth mindset. Can be based on your workplace, right? Because workplace cultures have a really big influence. You probably all can know immediately if your workplace culture is a growth mindset or fixed mindset. Potentially your passport country, right? So the culture or cultures that you come from also will tend towards growth mindset, fixed mindset. So those are some of the things that affect that. Great question, Elzani. Let me know if you have any other questions if that answered that. Maria is saying, how and when do I use the general and wild child? Great question, Maria. So if you are particularly, there's a couple different ways you can use it. If you are trying to attempt a task, maybe it's a big task, maybe it's a new task, maybe you're a little bit nervous, maybe you're a little bit anxious, you can kind of check in with your inner chatter. What is your inner chatter saying? So, is your general really giving you a hard time? You're never going to succeed. You're a failure. Work harder. Work, work, work. No breaks, no breaks. No, you got to work. You can't take a break. You're just, you're going to fail. You can't learn how to do this, right? If that's the kind of chatter that's going on in your head, the very first step is to become aware of that and also become aware of what is your wild child saying? Is your wild child saying, I don't care. I don't care when that deadline is. I'm just going to go. I'm going to go have coffee with Nima and Bobe. We're going to go dancing. Diana told me about this new restaurant. Like, I don't care that really, really important report is due in the next 2 hours. I'm just going to slack off. Like, I don't care. I'm not checking in with my colleagues. I'm not collaborating. So Bobe saying sounds very tempting. Yeah, so some of those messages are so present, they're so big that we don't even notice them, right? So it's a way of checking in and kind of seeing where you're at. And then you can kind of put that against your this grid, right? Because those things are linked as well. Stella saying mostly growth mindset, but fixed for others, i.e., values, ethics. Okay. Oh, okay. So values and ethics may not necessarily um, be related to your mindset. The mindset is more like thinking about how do you learn and grow and how do you approach. Um, there was Carol Dweck's book talks about two women who were stood up at the altar. So just take a moment and think whether you're partnered or not. You're standing at the altar, and this person that you have thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with doesn't show up. How would you react? The woman with the fixed mindset was devastated, just completely wrecked. I'm unlovable. I'm never going to find love again. This is all my fault, right? Very, very fixed mindset. The woman with the growth mindset, of course, was upset. Of course, of course. But she carried on with the reception. She put on a little black dress and I don't know if you know this song, she played, I think it's Gloria Gaynor is the artist, the song I Will Survive. Right. And even though she was hurting, she was able to move forward. Right. Okay, so we've talked about the three G's. Are you ready to move forward to find out what motivates you? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready for another inward looking tool. Bobe, you have a Korean version too of that song, Bobe? Oh, if
난
you
괜찮아. Yes,
sorry.
we have Korean version.
Oh, I love it. I love it. If you want to pop it in the chat and then I'll put it in the workbook. I'll put a link to it. It's so great. I love that. Um, okay, so let's talk about what motivates you. So, I'm not going to say too much about this because I'll get you to take the poll first, which I'm just going to pull up. Um, just a second here. Just give me a second. Here we go. Okay, so you should see the poll on your screen. Okay, so pretend that you have a paper bag in front of you. Actually, give me a thumbs up if you can see the poll here. Just confirm that you can see the poll. Thank you. Okay, so I want to pretend that you have a paper bag in front of you and you're with other people, right? You're with a group of people, and you have to decide how to look underneath this paper bag, right? So you're trying to focus on how you're going to make this decision. Pardon me. How you're going to make this decision about looking underneath the paper bag. You are in no danger. There's nothing dangerous in this paper bag. You can't get hurt. So, what is and some of you might be compelled to pick more than one, but just for now, just pick one. So, would you want to be a leader and help your group decide? Would you talk to your group about how to look under the paper bag? Would you, thank you very much, decide for yourself, like on your own? Would you imagine asking your future self? If you could magically ask your future self, would you do that? Would you do some research? Would you consult the internet? Would you do some research? Or would you be like, oh, I want to achieve my goal. I got to make this right decision about looking underneath this bag. So pick the one that speaks loudest to you. And this is a little bit, I like to liken this to knowing your motivation style is a little bit like, of course, this is an exaggeration, but a little bit like climbing Mount Everest with a huge support team and oxygen and the proper gear and trying to do it naked, backwards, in high heels with no oxygen, right? Like if you know what motivates you and what motivates the people you're working with, oh, life gets so much easier. Okay, we have a tie for the most common. There's been at least one vote for each of these, and I'll show you the results in a second. But we have a tie for the top two. When I'm doing this in person, I actually have paper bags, and then people go to the paper bag that they feel most strongly. Okay, almost everyone has put their I can't tell who. Don't worry, everything's anonymous, but I can tell how many have voted. Okay, let me. I'm just going to end the poll in just a second. So if you haven't cast your vote, make sure you do that. Okay, and here are your results. So let me just share them with you. Okay, so give me a thumbs up. Can you see the results there on your screen? I'll take a I'll take a screen grab of them and put them in the workbook. So the two, as you can see, the two most common ones were being a leader and talking to your group. Uh, and then the third one was deciding for yourself. Okay, so those will go into the workbook, so you'll see those. But what does that all mean? What does that all mean? Well, here are here's the interpretation. And if you want to take a longer look at this, you can take the actual survey. This is based on National Geographic research, by the way, which is this has just been game changing for so many teams. When I do this in person, so many people are like, "Oh, Ben, I can see," or Bobe, okay, I understand now. Okay, and by the way, you're probably tempted to whatever your style is, you think, oh, this is the best one. But every style has its pros and its cons, right? Every style has its good day and its bad day. If you picked decide for yourself, that's achievement, right? So check, check, get it checked off the list, get things done. So very achievement focused. Uh, on a bad day, achievement, people who are motivated by achievement can be a little tough. Like, Mike, Cynthia, Anne, what are you doing taking a break? We got to work, 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 work. Come on, we got to get this done. Right? On a bad day. For those of you who picked help your group decide, that's power, right? So on a good day, people who are motivated by power are great leaders. They're natural born leaders. On a bad day, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, power can corrupt, right? So people can abuse their power. Uh, if you picked the one uh, talk to your group, right? That is affiliation. So people who are motivated by affiliation are natural collaborators. They will automatically, okay, Cynthia, what do you think about this? And Aslan, I'd love to hear your opinion. And Katie, can you tell me what do you think about this? And Mike, like they just automatically do this. On a bad day, they're a little bit like, Miriam, I love that sweater that you're wearing. It's beautiful. Natalia, where did you get those shoes from? Like, focused on getting work done, right? They're socializing. Meanwhile, this very important meeting is coming up in an hour, and they're socializing. Okay, if you pick decide for yourself, that's autonomy, right? So people who are motivated by autonomy are really self-directed. They don't need to be motivated. They're just like getting it done. I'm hearing a little bit of background noise. I'm just going to mute that person. But if you had a question or something, just let me know. Um, on a bad day, people who are motivated by autonomy can have blinders on, right? They're going towards this goal, getting this thing done. Meanwhile, they're so focused on doing things themselves that they haven't realized um, that everyone's changed direction, right? We're going this way. We're not going this way anymore. We're going this way, right? And they've missed that. External. So people who are motivated externally, if you pick that one, are motivated by their team leader, their parents, their community, their religious leader, like something outside of them, right? On a bad day, oh, thanks, Bobby. I love that you put that there, the song. I'll put that in the workbook. On a bad day, and of course, I'm just making this up. Um, Nang Nang, did you see the shoes that Ramsey's wearing? Oh, I can't, oh, like they're just so out of style. And did you see Veronica's glasses? Like, oh, or the car that Veronica drives, right? So just completely superficial, motivated by external things, but things that don't mean anything and very judgmental, right? Based on clothing, car, like status-y kind of things. Okay, future. People who are motivated by the future are motivated by, stopping gender-based violence, racism, uplifting people in informal settlements, stopping climate change, mitigating climate change, any of those kinds of things, right? Whatever the topic is. On a bad day, people motivated by the future are a little bit like the achievement things. Nima, what are you doing on that coffee break? Come on, don't you know the climate, the planet is burning. We have to work, 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 work. Right? They can just be not have very good work-life integration. Ben's asked a great question. You can absolutely have a combination of motivations. Yes. Just to keep it easier, I asked you to pick one, but you can absolutely have a couple that speak to you. Yeah. I have a little screen here that talks about ways to motivate those people, right, based on those styles. So, people who are motivated by achievement, for example, gamifying, measuring your progress, having a checklist. Ooh, so chef's kiss, sweet, sweet, sweet spot. Versus people who are motivated by external, treating yourself after you achieve a goal, right? If I finish this report and it gets good input, and I feel like I've really collaborated with people, and it's getting great reviews. I'm gonna go, I don't know, play paddle with a friend, or I'm gonna go have a manicure or something. I also have this worksheet which you can on your own time fill in. So you can put, you'll see on the left-hand side there, you can put a way to motivate people, motivate yourself. And then on the right-hand side is the pull-down menu, and you can pick what style is that, right? Is that affiliation? Is it external? Is it future, etc.? Okay. How you doing? You ready to continue? Questions? Um, I just saw a DM from someone, which I want to acknowledge. Thank you for that. That's a kind thing. So we've done the three G's, right? We've done the general and the wild child, the grid, that was the motivation, the will skill, and the mindset, and then we've talked about motivation. So we're still looking inwards. We've got one more inward looking tool for ourselves. But although the motivation thing, of course, you can look outwards, right? The taking that to the next level, you can use that with your team. By the way, feel free to use that survey with your team. Um, and it could be fun to compare motivation styles. Okay, are you ready for the final tip before we'll take a little pause, we'll review, and then we'll switch to outward. So, are you ready for the final one? Just give me a thumbs up. The final inward tip. Okay. I have my trusty Diet Coke. I was up till past 2 in the morning this morning. My kids left for Canada yesterday, and there was a glitch at the airport, so that's my form of caffeine. Okay. Great. So I'm going to play this very quick clip, and let me know in the chat. This will make sense once you've seen it. Would you push the button? Okay, so think about, would you push the button? Ramses, that's a great question. Ramses asks, is it a yes? No question. Okay, as a huge ABBA fan, in fact, I'm turning 60 this year, and tomorrow night I'm having an ABBA themed birthday party. Miriam said, I would for the ABBA song. Know that you remember at the beginning, right? You don't know that's going to happen, right? So what do you think? Would you push the button? If you were in this bathroom, this will tell you a lot about, oh, thank you, Nima. Thank you. Okay. Um, so would you push that button? So Aslan's saying definitely. Nima would say no. We got definitely Miriam saying no. Yes, the frog. Oh, I love that the frog. Fabulous. So Diana thinks so, not quite sure. Okay. Okay, well, this tells you a lot about this final tip, or tool rather. This is Gretchen Rubin's work. So you can find out more about this is called the Four Tendencies. Such great research. Has anyone heard of Gretchen Rubin? She's done a lot of really cool work, and one of the tools that she has created is this Four Tendencies. And you can, on your own time, you can take the quiz if you like. Has anyone heard of Gretchen Rubin? And basically, it's another grid, right? It's another quadrant. And it all has to do with how do you respond to internal and external expectations, right? So if you tell yourself, what's a habit? Give me an example. What's a habit that you're trying to maintain or create? So I want to use someone's real life example. So otherwise I can pull it, so doing sports, Natalia's saying. Okay. So think about you can take this survey later on. By the way, if future you is watching this, all of the links will be down below in the video in the description of the video. So say I'm trying to do more sports. I'm trying to play sports regularly. That's the habit I'm trying to create or build. How I respond to internal expectations is really big. So if I say to myself, okay, Leanne, you're going to get up at 7 a.m. and you're going to go to, I don't know, play volleyball 3 times a week. You're going to be in the gym at 7 a.m. If I tend to listen to myself, I meet those internal expectations, then I'm either hopefully you can see it on the screen. It might be a little bit small for you. Um, I'm either an upholder or a questioner. Okay. So if I listen to myself, then I know I've divided myself. I'm either an upholder or a questioner. If I don't, like, oh, I can say I'm going to be in the gym at 7 a.m. 3 times a week, there is no chance in hell that that's ever going to happen. That means I tend to resist internal expectations. So that means I'm either an obliger or a rebel, okay, because I resist internal expectations. So how do you know of those two which you are? It depends on how do you react to external expectations. So let's just say that Ramses and I have decided to play volleyball together in the gym a couple times a week. If that's really, really helpful to me, having someone who's like, come on, Leanne, get those runners on, get into the gym, come on, let's go. Then I meet outer expectations, right? If I tend to be like this person here and I don't listen, like they're telling me not to press the button, I'm like, oh, no, no, no. That means I want to press the button. If you tell me not to do something, my instinct is I'm not going to listen to you. It makes me want to do that thing. And then it means that you resist those external expectations. So let me know if that makes sense. You can kind of see here. So, for example, rebels. I have a friend, a colleague who's like this. She really struggles for one because she resists outer expectations. So if you try to support her, coach her, she's like, but she also resists inner as well. The questioner resists outer and meets inner. So, for example, I'm a questioner. I would be pressing that button, like my inner rebel, or I'm not a rebel because I listen to my own inner expectations, but my outer rebel is you tell me not to do something, I have to put my hands behind my back because it makes me want to do it. So, makes sense? Questions, comments? Hmm, before we move on. Again, we're just putting our toe in to these tools, and I've given you the ones that really pique your interest. You can go back and take those surveys. I've given you some blog posts I've written to find out more about them. And if you are ready to continue, then give me a thumbs up. And we'll take a quick pause. Oh, Maria says, I did not get the external expectations. Okay, thank you, Maria, for asking that. External expectations is someone else telling you what to do, right? So it's having a coach, it's having an accountability group, it's having uh, maybe Veronica and I are meeting up once a week to check in about maybe we're trying to read more. So we meet up to talk about where we're at with our research, our reading, etc. It's what other people are telling you, supporting you to do. Let me know if that makes sense. And you can probably tell here you want to match your way of being, how you are with these expectations internally and externally. Because if you resist external, then groups and accountability groups and coaching and all of that is not going to help you, right? You'll resist them. Okay, just coming in. Um, what if I What if I, what if external expectations motivate you? Oh, then accountability groups, getting a coach, meeting up with a friend, having an app that reminds you. I'm trying to learn more about art history. So I've started this really cool little app. What's it called? Daily Art. And it just puts a little, flashes a little thing on my screen. And I learn about a piece of art every day, right? So it's something external to me. You can do more research on Gretchen Rubin's. So Maria, you're asking if you're an upholder. So an upholder meets outer expectations and inner expectations. And you're an obliger if you meet outer expectations, but you resist inner expectations. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to continue. We're just going to have a little pause and then we're going to switch over to some external tips here, but keep those questions coming if there's more of them. Just as we pause here, I am so excited to say that I have launched my Transformative Trainers Academy, which is for change makers and game changers who want to up their game and learn how to design and deliver really engaging workshops. There's a link, I put a link in the chat there if you're interested in joining. It's a monthly membership. Also, our next roundtable, we're pausing for December. So the next one is in January, and it's our annual tradition of uh, designing a learning plan that really, really fits you. So, and here are all the dates for next year. Uh, Also, please, 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 I would be eternally grateful, as I mentioned before, if you would share the link to become a member of our community. We are a global community. So please, if you find value here, share that link and invite others. And then also ideas for topics. Please share some ideas. What would you like to see next year? Any ideas off the cuff? Let me know. I'm always looking for ideas from members. I really want to meet your needs, your learning needs. Um, and I do also use the roundtable as professional development. So there's always someone who suggests something. I'm like, oh, that's a great topic that I don't know a lot about. So then I'll do a ton of research and create a brand new roundtable. And then also, again, if you want to talk to me about doing a workshop for your team, my workshop catalog is there. So please check it out and feel free to contact me if you want to talk about that. But any ideas for topics right now? January is booked. That'll be the designing a custom learning plan for you. It's such a fun one. It's a really neat tool that I designed and I'll share with you. Um, but let me know in the chat if you have other ideas. Otherwise, we will continue. But let me just pause for a second in case there's ideas coming in. As a member, you have access to 13 years. It's our birthday this month, 13 years of roundtables. So you get access to all of those. Um, but let me know if you have any other ideas for topics right now. Bobby, I'm just making a note about that Korean song, making sure that I um, Stella, will send to you when I get a brainwave. Great. Love it, love it, love it. Healthy ways to manage stress. Oh, Nima, that's so good. Oh. Okay. Write that down. Okay. Mm, thank you. Okay. Well, know that I am always open to your ideas. So please feel free to share them. And let's continue. We started off with the looking inwards, but of course, we don't exist in a vacuum. We've got people around us. So let's look outwards. Um, these are the top skills required for this year, 2025. And notice like analytical thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, complex problem solving, critical thinking and analysis. Habits and motivation are really key to those skills, right? Really key. Also, we've done some, I've just put this in the chat. We've done roundtables on some of those topics. So you can always, if some of those are piquing your interest, you can go and look at those roundtables. Um, okay, on to the granddaddy, right? Atomic Habits, James Clear. He's done such great work about how do we create healthy habits and stop bad habits. So this comes from his research. I like this. Most decisions are like hats. Try one, and if you don't like it, put it back and try another. Some decisions are like haircuts. You can fix a bad one, but it won't be quick, and you might feel foolish for a while. And a few decisions are like tattoos. Once you make them, you have to live with them. Some mistakes are irreversible. So, where we put our attention, where we decide to really focus our attention and motivate ourselves is really key. So, he has a kind of an encyclopedic book. If you're interested at all in habit formation, strongly recommend his book called Atomic Habits. So I'm just summarizing a lot of very dense information. But basically, he talks about if you want to form a habit, so you want to create a habit, make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And conversely, and I'll give you examples for each of these. Conversely, if you want to stop a bad habit, make it not obvious, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. So here's what here are the principles that go behind each of these habit formations. So I encourage you think if to make this very practical and as helpful as possible for you, think about a habit that you're trying to form or a habit that you're trying to break, and then apply each of these to each of these principles to that habit. Oh, thank you, Stella. Yeah, and it's our 13th anniversary. So congratulations to everyone. Like I couldn't do this without this global community that shows up, month after month. So it's pretty cool that we've been at this 13 years. Okay, so if you're trying to form a habit, he talks about making it obvious. So one of the principles behind that is stacking. So habit stacking. So putting things together um, and being very specific. So, what do I mean by that? Let's say I'm trying to exercise on the elliptical machine. Notice how specific all of this is. I will do 10 minutes on the elliptical at 1 p.m. when I'm ready to start my lunch break. Right. So it's stacking. So that the stacking of the habit is putting the elliptical exercise up against the lunchtime, like putting those two things together and then being very specific. Making it attractive. So he talks about temptation bundling. And this one, I really got a lot from this one. Reframing your identity. So, again, if we're talking about exercise, temptation bundling means putting it together with something you really love. So, okay, when I'm on the elliptical machine, I'm going to watch a favorite YouTube video. So, for me, like Mr. K, I love home renovation. You can all, or decorating. You can almost always at lunch see me watching some home renovation and decorating things. So, okay, while I'm on the elliptical, I'm going to watch a Mr. Kate video and then reframing your identity to make it attractive. So I'm a healthy woman who prioritizes my current and my future health. Notice the growth mindset there and how different that is from, oh, I got to get on this darn machine. I know it's good for me, but I really don't want to do it. No, I'm a healthy woman who prioritizes my current and my future health, right? See the difference? Okay, make it easy. So he talks about reducing friction and priming the environment. So I do not like to be hot. Like people like hats off. Does anyone here do hot yoga? Put a thumbs up in the chat. Do you do hot yoga? Like hats off to you if anyone here does that. It would be hard for me to envision you like the sauna, okay? Um, it would be hard for me to imagine an exercise that would be more painful for me. Like I love yoga, but no, I just don't like being hot. So reducing friction, if I'm trying to do more exercise on the elliptical machine, means having a fan there. So I just quickly turn on the fan. It reduces the friction. I'm not unhappy because I'm not boiling hot. And then priming the environment. So having water to drink, having a fun reminder pop up on my phone that has little funky emojis with a fun picture of me and a fun little, um, a little pose, right? So I'm priming that environment to make it easy. Okay, and then the last one is satisfying, right? So after I current habit, I will do the habit that I'd like, right? So tracking things with a habit app, um, because I'm achievement, my motivation style is achievement. I like to track things, right? That makes me feel like I'm achieving things. Okay, comments, questions. Is this making sense? Can you see yourself plunking in your habit that you want to create using this obvious, easy, attractive, and satisfying? Do you have any habit? Oh, Aslin, I do actually. I'm gonna give you because I'm such a fan of tech. You're a little bit ahead of the class. Slow down. You're going too fast. I'll give you some tech suggestions in just a minute. Yeah. Great question. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah, I think, matching tech to our need is very powerful. Okay, well then let's also looking outward, right? So we're not just like looking at mindset, like internal motivation things, but also outward. We've talked about, making it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. I'll show you a tool that I've designed actually. Oh, actually, Uzleen is saying, how do you get yourself to do these things if your mental health is not where it should be? Oh, so Uzleen, maybe that's a great question. And just holding that question with grace and with compassion. Um, possibly if we're talking about this tool here, possibly the habit you may want to focus on is mental health. Maybe that's the thing that you try to make obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, right? Is really focusing on mental health because I really, the world is a very difficult place right now. So really acknowledging that the environments for many people in our community the United Nations community and the INGO, development sector, aid sector, it is just a very, very tough time. So again, I would suggest that the habit formation become your mental health, right? Okay, let me know if that makes sense or if you have other questions about that. Okay, and then another tool, and this is one that I researched and designed, is to 3D it. And you can find out more at that link there. So, and this could potentially be really helpful, Asleen, for you because it's so small, right? So the idea here is you pick three small things, right? So three tiny things. Sometimes with mental health, it can be, I'm going to make my bed, right? Like that's not something I have had the capacity to do recently. And that will help me feel, that I'm starting off. And by the way, I'm not a mental health professional. So please do get support in that area if you need it. um, but yeah, picking three small, small things. For example, one example could be making your bed that you can do 3 days in a row that take 3 minutes or less, right? So you're making this as small and achievable as possible, and that you actually, this sounds kind of officious, but you collect data on. So you're tracking it, right? To see if this is helping you feel better. Is this making a difference? Um, okay. Um, then, and I gave you a link there to find out more about that. The last one I wanted to talk about again is technology. So I'm a huge fan of technology, huge, huge, huge. As long as the tech tool matches the need and the capacity. So it's not too hard, not too simple. So here are some tools. Oh, and by the way, one that's not on here, that just thank you so much for being brave and to talk about mental health. Um, is Has anybody heard of the app called Untold? Untold. It is rocking my world. It is fun. I cannot say enough about this app. It's kind of a journaling app, but that doesn't do it. So you can type if you want, but it does voice to text beautifully. And it uses AI. So you talk, it transcribes it. Then it gives you all these responses. Like it is amazing. You can have a Buddhist response, a Christian response, a cognitive behavioral therapy response. You can get a word of a day affirmation, and then it connects everything you're saying. Ben, last week you said this, and I've noticed you've really made some progress with, yeah, Nima, it is, and it's free. And by the way, I might sound like this is a paid advertising. I get no money from this app, but I am recommending it to so many people. So and what's been so helpful for me is the prompts that it gives me, the questions that it asks me. It'll write a little short story about what you're saying. It'll write a poem. It's incredible. So that can maybe help with some motivation. Also, some tech tools here. Don't break the chain. This is Jerry Seinfeld's thing. So basically, you do something every day, and the idea is that you don't break the chain. I'm putting all the links in the chat. And again, don't be overwhelmed. Use them if you wish, but know they're all going to be in the workbook. Um, so if you want something that it's super, super simple, you can use that app. You can, this is someone's put an annual calendar up, and maybe you put your goals on the calendar and it's super, super simple. You can gamify things. There's an Etsy, I never know if you say Etsy or Etsy, habit tracker. So I've put that in the chat, or future you is watching this, the links are down below. And they're just really fun, beautiful, kind of visual ways of tracking your habits. You can use Habitica. It gamifies things. So there's wizards and all sorts of things, like if that speaks to you. And by the way, notice your reaction. Some of these you might be saying, thank you, but no thank you, Leanne. Like that's great. Like pick the one that speaks to you and don't try to make a tech tool work that you're like, this just doesn't speak to me. There's also the Habit app, right? So you can download that and it really helps you supports you on creating good habits. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the tools and tips and tech. So we started off with looking inwards, right? So really, what's going on in that brain of yours, that wild, beautiful, bold, big brain? And what are the what are you saying to yourself? What is that general saying? What's the wild child saying? And really being aware of those messages because they can really help you or really kind of take a sword and dash any of your attempts. Figuring out where you are on the will and skill matrix, right? Looking inside. Is this something where you need to build a skill? You need to learn more? Or is it something you need to look at motivation, right? Your will. Carol Dweck's beautiful, life-changing work on growth and fixed mindset, right? You can have all these tools, all these tips, but if you have a fixed mindset, you're really kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So you want to address that. And you can change your mindset, right? It's really something you can work on. Then knowing what motivates you, right? We really want to work with ourselves as opposed to against ourselves. And you've got that worksheet, you've got a survey you can take if this is a tool you really want to dig into more. You can look at what other people have said, find your motivation style, and then look at how to specifically motivate yourself. Then we talked about would you push that button, right? And that tells us a lot about how do you respond to internal expectations? Do you listen to yourself, right? Or not, or do you tend not to? Or do you listen or not listen to external expectations? So that's super. Oh, thank you to the person who just sent a DM. Said a nice comment there. Thank you. Um, then we talked about James Clear, right? Just kind of the granddaddy of habit formation and how if you want to create a habit, make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And if you want to break a habit, make it not obvious. So if you're trying, like, I love chocolate, I could eat dark chocolate in the morning for breakfast. I could eat it for lunch. I could eat it for snacks. I could eat it for dinner. So making something not obvious, if I'm trying to break a habit, is to not leave chocolate where it's really easy for me to find it. Like ideally not in the house, but certainly not like in my desk drawer, right? So not make it obvious. Make it unattractive, make it hard, and make it not satisfying. And then I shared this tool with me about that I created called 3Ding it. So, three small things that you can do 3 days in a row that take 3 minutes or less. Like we're talking easy, easy. Like you have enough on your plate. Your plates are spinning, overflowing. It might feel like you're on a unicycle and you're juggling flames with the world right now. Like it feels like gravity's going to stop working. Right? So make it easy, easy, easy. Give yourself grace. Right? Three small things that you can do 3 days in a row 3 minutes or less, and then collect some data, right? That's the D of the 3D, right? Pardon me. And then find some tech to help you, right? You're not alone in this, right? It might take a couple of tries. Don't use a tech tool that doesn't fit you, right? But if you can find the one that is your sweet spot, oh, makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. So Thank you to the person who asked, Asleen, about mental health. So Untold, oh, I cannot say how amazing that tool is. Um, so if you're needing some motivation and some support and seeing patterns in your life, it is spectacular. Tracking your habits, don't break the chain is great. If you kind of want to, you're like a big picture person, you could use an annual calendar. If you're a really visual person, you want something pretty and visual and graphic, you can download some of these tools. If you want to gamify it, you can use Habitica. And there's lots of other ones, the Habit app, etc. So, my friends, so grateful, so grateful for you being here. And, in these particularly challenging times. Before I sum up, I just want to share with you some ways so that you can get all these resources. But first of all, any comments, questions, any resources? I mean, there's big, beautiful, bold, brilliant minds in this group. Any resources that you want to share? How to get out of the dopamine addiction? Well, these apps keep fueling it. Oh, Miriam, yeah, that's a great. So you may wish to look. So it's a great question. You may wish. I've done a few roundtables on technology. Technology. I think of technology like a phone, right? You can use a phone to call your great grandmother who lives halfway across the world and have this beautiful connection, or you can use it to plan a murder, right? Like it's really how you use that tool. So my belief is if you can find a tool, so the key thing is to stay in the driver's seat, right? So to find a tool that fits a need that you have, as opposed to doom scrolling for like, you get on Instagram or Facebook and all of a sudden 3 hours have passed, right? That's not necessarily meeting a need or meeting a healthy need. So figure out what the need is for you in terms of motivation, and then look for a tool that meets that need. Then you're staying in charge. Um, oh, okay. Oh, that's so great. So I didn't know the Ignite team's here. That's great. Oh, that makes me so happy. Hi, everyone. Oh, how special. Um, Okay, Bobe is saying the Nike Training Club app, free exercise videos, healthy body, motivate your mind. Yeah, so if you're looking, like it's such a great example Bobe has given us of here's the need, and then here's what can support that need. I'm from Vancouver, and my ideal weekend is a lot of it spent on the couch, like just reading, right? It's not healthy. And a friend of mine said something about her partner and the Apple exercise thing. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I have an Apple Watch, and literally under my nose is this whole Apple exercise. Like I had no idea. So that you can say, how long do you want to exercise? What kind of music do you like? Um, and then what kind of you can do kickboxing, you can do yoga, you can do core, you can do Pilates, and then my watch talks to my phone and measures my heart rate, and like it's amazing, right? It for me, like it because I really have to motivate myself to exercise. Um, Miriam saying, Manuel from the Ignite team, to-do list on your phone can help. Yes, less stress to forget something. Yeah, and I know people have strong opinions about this, but if you have a iPhone, Siri is amazing. Like Siri, remind me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to send the workbook to the Learning and Development Roundtable team. Like you can say what time of day, like I use that reminder I don't know how many times a day. And then I can go into those reminders and make them annual or, yeah, reminders are fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Um, and notice your reaction. If you're like, I'm a pen and paper person, like 100% pen and paper, like just do you. Like we want you to stretch, we want you to grow. So maybe try some new things, but make sure that you're you're staying in that driver's seat. But by saying Apple also has the health function that you can log how you're feeling every day with reminders. Yeah, there are so many things out there and saying topic idea, AI issues. Oh, seeing a bigger picture effects on communities and personal growth and yes. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I did a specialized AI workshop for a UN agency, an introductory AI workshop. So maybe we can do that next year. Yeah. Nima's saying reaction is huge. It stops the train going downhill. Yeah. So stay in that driver's seat. Like find that, I really encourage you, find the sweet spot between trying something new, right? We don't want to stagnate. We want to grow, but lots of people get frustrated with technology specifically if I'm raving about a tool, like like I did about Untold. But if you don't have a need to see the connections and maybe you're facing a big issue in your life or like, and you don't need to talk through it that way, then don't use the tool, right? Okay, Stella's saying LumaWell app for different fitness levels. Great. There's so much about fitness here. It's great. Yeah, it's so important. The extended sitting, I wrote a blog post on this. Extended sitting puts us at risk of 40 plus diseases. 40 plus diseases. So yeah, anything you can do for your fitness. Okay. Oh, I'm still on a high that the Ignite team is here. That's great. You are so welcome, as is everyone. Okay, so I want to be mindful of our time. You will get the PowerPoint deck because again, members said, Leanne, love the video, love the workbook, but we want it faster. We want it faster. So in 3 minutes, the PowerPoint deck will be in your inbox. And then usually on Monday, so this coming Monday, the team has everything put together. So you will get the time-stamped video, you'll get the audio recording, you'll get the workbook, etc. And please, if I could ask you a favor, if this has been helpful for you, for me, learning is such a priority, especially when we're facing so many challenges. Because when we're in a learning mindset, it means that we're open, right? As opposed to, I know everything, and I don't need to listen to anybody because I know everything. So if you are into learning, which clearly you are because you're here, please share that link so we can continue to grow our community. And then I know you've got a lot on your plate. So a couple of quick tips for a quick win. Pick one of those inward looking tools and start using it like today or tomorrow. And or pick one of the outward facing tools and start using it. Use the Digo link. And you're like, Leanne, are you speaking Greek? What is this Digo? I'll show you in just a second. It's a way of having all the resources in one place. Uh, Use that motivational worksheet, right? To look at how to motivate yourself using your own style. Create the James Clear habit, that map I did. So pick your own habit and then fill that in with those principles. And then explore the resources that are going to come your way. Um, so I'd love to know, as we close, what's your key takeaway and what will you do with your learning? So let me know in the chat. What is your key takeaway from today? And it's super great and awesome and wonderful that you showed up. And I really want the learning to leave the room and for you to be kind to your future self. So what are you going to do with this learning, right? What is the number one thing? You're going to apply your learning. You're going to use it. You're going to try a tool, etc. So let me know in the chat. And while you're typing that up, I mentioned Digo. So I put a lot of research into these roundtables, and Digo is a social bookmarking tool that if you click on that link, you'll see all of the resources related to motivation. And by the way, if I update and tag more resources on motivation, you'll see it updates in real time. So that link will also be in the workbook. Okay, so Ben says use the habit map to build good habits. Yay! Yay, Ben. Uh, and saying good to revisit DWAC. Yes, we'll reflect right about it for habit practice. Nice. Natalia saying we'll stay more open-minded and check the tools, focus on some issues to work on. Love it. Oh, Miriam, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Great. Bobby saying motivation is complex. Yes, no need to be stressed on being not motivated. It tells you to listen to yourself, which state you're in. Yes, I love that. Yeah. I mean, in English, there's a saying to put our nose to the grindstone. And if you think about that saying, that's going to draw blood, people. If you actually put your nose to a grindstone, you're going to make yourself bleed. So, especially given the state of the world right now, we do need to stretch and grow always. But please, give yourself grace. Aslan saying 3 Gs to keep going. Great, 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 great. Nima, you are a great teacher, very resourceful. I'm setting up accountability. Keep me motivated. Love it. Thank you. That's very kind, Nima. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Well, in closing, as I mentioned, this has been a lifelong dream of mine to launch this Transformative Trainers Academy. So if you want to take a deep dive into how to design and deliver uh, uh, interactive workshops for change makers. The link is in the chat. I've set all the dates for the 2026 roundtables. So you can see the dates there. And I flip them in terms of time zones because I know time zones are just hard. And the next one is January 15th. If you are a UN staff person and you want this to count towards your professional development, there's a link in the chat. You just need to sign that worksheet, and then that counts towards your professional development. And then I wouldn't be a very good learning focused person if I wasn't open to your feedback. So here is a link to a little survey. You get a little surprise. Now, let's manage expectations. It's not a free trip to Mauritius or anything like that, but there's a fun little surprise there if you are kind enough to give me your feedback. So all those links are in the chat. And then one last time, it's my absolute pleasure to get to work with change makers like you. So if you want to explore me coming to do some work with your team, the workshop catalog is there. So thank you, everyone. If I can get you to unmute, I'll just get you to say goodbye to your colleagues. And so everyone unmute. And however December is a big year or a big month rather for celebration. So however you celebrate, as December's around the corner, I wish you well. And if everyone wants to unmute, unmute. And on the count of three, please say goodbye in whatever language you wish to your colleagues. 1, 2, 3, go.
안녕.
Bye.
하루.
See you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, rock stars. Hope to see you in January. Take good care, stay well, stay creative, stay safe, and stay learning. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.